Hello learners, I want to introduce a new chapter which is sales control. Sales control in service. Requirements of an effective sales control system. It should ensure the following. If you need your sales control to be effective, one, it ensure the following. One, that every consumption is charged. Do not allow some customers to go without being charged for the service that they have consumed, because we know some customers are very cunning. They will complain that the services that they have been offered are not satisfactory. We looked at the things that how do customers sell from the establishment, and we said working deliberately without paying for the food that they have consumed, and also accusing that the food that they have totally consumed was not satisfactory. We also look at when we are looking at this, every consumption is charged. You have to have the captain order looked at. You also look at the guest checks with serial number. Ensure the serial number is there. You also look at the cash registers were available, eliminating verbal orders. No food should be served to the guest or to the customer without an order. Number two, ensure that correct prices are charged to customers. Don't do a guesswork. Do a random sampling to look if the correct prices are being charged to customer, because sometimes you realize that the staff in our establishment, they will be overcharging. If it is beer is being sold at 180 shillings as an offer, the customer might sell it at 200 to make the staff might sell at 200 to make a profit to still 20 shillings. Number three, ensure all guest bills are settled. Number four, ensure all guest checks are accounted for. There are main method of sales control. The method chosen for sales control depends on one, the type of menu used, and we said we have two types of menu, that is table-dot menu and a la carte menu. We also look at the style of service, how you and the customer are going to be served. We also look at the size of establishment. How large is your establishment? Large establishment require detailed control system. So you cannot compare a 5-star hotel and 1-star hotel. So the control in one store can be done by the manager, but in 5-star hotel it needs a lot of staff to do that. You also look at the volume of business. How much is the business doing? You also look at the main mode of settling bills. For example, you can pay through vouchers, you can pay through prepaid. You also look at the competence of both management and staff. How competent are your staff members? The three main sales control method. We have three main, which is the first one is oral records. We have the written records and the machine computerized records. We start with the oral records. In oral records, no transaction records are meant. No records will find in the oral transaction. Waiter asks for item without any record. This method is difficult to control, mostly used in bars and small food establishment or outlets. We have the number two, which is written records. Waiters obtain goods from kitchen using a written order. Guest pays using a restaurant bill. Cashier accepts payment by use of duplicate copy as proof that guest has been served. We have number three, that is use of machine. Records are kept when you use a machine. The method is effective and it is possible to audit the transaction in future if need arises. To understand this method, it is possible to track the flow of a restaurant sale. Formal flow of a restaurant sale. How does it flow? First thing that we want to start from where the guest enters in the restaurant. So the guest enters in a restaurant and is seated. After you are seated, the guest gives the order to the waiter, who enters it in a captain order and distributes it as follows. Original and duplicate goes to cashier. where the one will go to the kitchen and the triplicate copy remains with the waiter. Restaurant cashier uses original and duplicate copies to open a guest check. Waiter uses original to obtain goods from the kitchen. Once the guest requests for his bill, the waiter gets posted guest check from the cashier and presents it to the guest for payment. The guest pays cash, credit card, or signs his bill using posted guest check. Number 7, cashier settles the bill. The original guest check is stamped, paid, and submitted to the guest. The cashier attaches duplicate copies of captain order and guest check summary report. Cashier add over all cash received, document used to front office cashier. And number 10, the front office cashier verifies the amount of cash and credit sales as shown by restaurant cashiers. The night audit ensures that credit sales are being posted to guest ledgers and that the amount of cash submitted is correctly recorded. Number 12, the document will then be submitted to the control office where it is then verified that correct prices were charged on all items and that sales reports were completed correctly. The last step is the hotel management uses the report to review whole operation and correct any mistakes. NB, from the above flow, the system provides an independent record of the sales value of item from the production, taking into account the following. Number 1, there is a pricing policy which prices to be charged for each item offered. Number 2, guest orders are recorded in captain order and distributed accordingly. Cashier copy, cashier opens guest billing and using a captain order. Cashier will charge correct prices. Production area uses food and beverage against controlled captain orders. They cannot issue any food without a captain order. Number 5, guest pays for services provided upon receipt of guest check only. Number 6, all money collected is handed over to the front office cashier who will issue the cash receipt. Front office cashier post guest check to the guest ledger. We look at the additional controls. Additional controls are necessary to make the system more effective. These include control of captain orders, guest check, cash registers, complimentaries, and staff meal. Number 1, control of captain orders. Should be prepared in 3 copies, should be legible, should include all details, for example, the serial number, number of covers, date, table number, waiter's name, guest room number, and all other items ordered by the guest. Number 2, we have the control of guest checks. This should be legible and accurate, should contain all details, guest check serial number, name of the hotel, restaurant, waiter's name or number, table number, number of covers, date of service, meal service, period, for example, if it is a breakfast or it is a dinner. We have the details of guest, order, items ordered, bottom part stamped, where it is stamped paid, cut off, and handed over to the waiters to keep in case of any problem, later shifting responsibility to another waiter. Number 3, control of cashier's guest check summary. This is a summary of all guest check, including those that have been cancelled. At the end of the service, food and beverage cashier prepare a summary by listing the check using a serial number. We have number 4, control of departmental cash sales. All department sales must be paid to the front office cashier. The front office does the following: verifies correctness in guest check summary, determine total postings. Number 3, subtract all complimentaries, discounts from total printing figure. Total up the cash guest check and compare the figure obtained from physical cash paid in hand and the machine print and machine print out of cells. This should balance, and if any difference if there is any difference, should be investigated. Number 5, control of accounting machines. Accounting machines come in various types according to different establishments, and this will depend needs of the first one on needs of establishment, cost benefit of installing particular machine. In our next lesson, we look at the types of accounting machine. Thank you.